What's good? Welcome back to another edition of Talk That Talk podcast. I go by the name of Bacon. I got my co-host with me.
Man, it's your boy, Mr. Too Many Reasons. Feel me? I'm here. I'm back.
Facts.
Had an interesting weekend, to say the least. And I almost had one of them moments. Remember our boy Smoke when we was in Vegas? How he almost didn't make it out.
Oh, you almost didn't make it?
I almost didn't make it, man.
It was that bad?
Yeah, man. It was. I think I just did too much too fast. And I almost didn't make it out Saturday night, but me and the wife made it back to the room. I was able to get a cool little power nap. Mm-hmm. We went a little shopping. Then I was good for Saturday night.
You was ready. You was good, man. I feel it, man. I'm glad you had a solid vacation, man. It was an anniversary, right?
No. We actually went to LA for the passing of her nephew this past weekend, and the celebration of life of him. And so after that, we did all the family stuff. We didn't have the kids for the first time in a long time.
So you just said Vegas.
No, we was in LA. Vegas was last weekend. That was Easter weekend.
They got my whole weeks messed up, man. My weeks messed up. So
this past weekend we was in LA for the celebration of life for the nephew. And so after, we did all that kind of stuff, man, we decided to, go hang out because we ain't had a chance to be adults. We've been in parent mode.
Clubs is open in LA?
Huh?
It's like clubs open in LA, or y'all just...
No, it wasn't like a club. My boy Casanova, he was DJing some kind of like bar hookah thing.
Oh, okay.
Downtown LA.
Okay.
And it was a cool little vibe, man. My bro showed up. My other little sis showed up. So it was a cool little vibe. Just something for us to decompress, man, and just kind of chance just to be adults. So I always enjoy the time with the wife, man.
Yeah, big facts. Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. But unfortunately, we do have some bad news that happened over this weekend, man. Another police shooting. Supposedly, the officer accidentally thought he had his taser, and it was his gun, and ended up firing and ended up killing an innocent brother. Unarmed brother by the name of Dante Wright in Minnesota during the actual sort of case in the trial for the George Floyd trial. And it's sickening, man. It's sickening to see this yet again, man. Damn near almost around the same time. Almost around.
This time was a female officer, not a male. It was a female officer who she thought it was her taser, but it ended up being her gun.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out how you don't know the difference.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's because, like, I've seen tasers, and tasers is like got the little like side button.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that means when you pull out the gun, most officers pull out the gun, they this way.
Yeah.
I mean, you pulled out the gun and you was sideways. So I mean, you was hood shooting. You was doing a drive-by.
Yeah, that's.
So how do you feel me? Because unless they got gun tasers that I don't know nothing about, because to me that'd be the dumbest invention for an officer. Because then you can get away with all kinds of stuff. Because I grabbed my gun taser.
Yeah, I don't know. I just know it's all the way bad, and it's back to where we started from. And this is why we say the things we say about Black Lives Matter. This is why you had a couple shootings not damn near a month ago, barely a month ago, not even a month ago, I don't think. And both of the shooters were taken into custody who actually committed a crime. It was a routine, supposed to be traffic stop or a stop, whatever. And it led to a murder. And that's the part that we get so upset about and we get so frustrated about, and people just don't understand how we feel because it's always us. And it's countless times we see it, and it's blatant. It's not even a secret anymore, man. It's blatant, and you see it more in and more out, and it's getting to the point where enough is enough. I think we've already reached that point, but when you see now, I mean, they got these curfews, but at the end of the day, man, like it's wrong. Wrong is wrong. Wrong is wrong. And instead of like saying it's an accident, just admit it. Like we was wrong. Fire that person. That person should be going to trial for murder, even though they did resign. That like, come on, man. You just murdered somebody. That's somebody that's not gonna be able to go home to their daughter, to their child, to their mom, to their relatives no more. That's a life that you can't get back. Because I thought it was a taser. I thought I was on my taser. It's just sickening, man.
Yeah, it just don't make sense. After a while, man, we get to a point to where it's like it's like we supposed to become numb to it and accept it. Like that's what this is building into. Like, well, this is happening all the time. Why y'all so mad about it? Or, well, y'all should act a certain way when you get pulled over. You should comply like this or you should comply like that. But it's like, I've seen compliance. Compliance ain't worked. You feel me? I've watched videos of a young man sitting there in his car telling the officer how scared he is, telling the officer, like, I don't want no trouble, telling the officer I don't have nothing. And that young man still was gunned down. So, and I've seen videos when people aren't being compliant. I don't necessarily agree with how it was handled, but at some point, man, it's got to be better. You know, like I said, I've made the suggestion that officers shouldn't necessarily carry live rounds unless they necessarily pulling up on a live round situation. You feel me? Like they got enough movement in the car, especially like a routine stop. You should have two said weapons with you, the little pellet bullet one and then the actual one. And I know they like, well, you know, but the officer can show up and they can, I said, yeah, that can go left. But the other side is his actions can go left too. You feel me? And it's going left with our color. That's what it's going left with. It ain't going left with the white people. If we just keeping it a buck, you feel me? It's too many countless videos I'm watching white people able just to talk to officers any old kind of way. You can't do this, you can't do that. I'm closing my door. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And nothing's happening. A black sergeant was pulled over by two police officers and was threatened for his life. And he was in the army.
Yeah.
Fighting for their freedom. And look how he was getting treated. And we try to sit there and tell us it's not a race thing? Get the hell out of here with all that.
Yeah. It's definitely a race thing. And it's definitely a people in power. These police officers that are in power are abusing their power. And that's what it is. It's as simple as that. I get it. There are some cases where, you know, things happen, right? But at the end of the day, majority times is that these officers are abusing their power, abusing their authority. They are here to protect and serve. And it seems like they're not protecting us. They're eliminating us left and right. Anytime they get a chance to, and they always can use it on the shield. Go back to the shield. Oh, we had every right. That person was a threat. These people ain't a threat. And the people that are a threat, you ain't doing nothing to them. The people who are actually killing and murdering people, and there's nothing happening to them. They're able to walk freely. But ironically, you just know how to miraculously use all police procedures. When it comes to us, routine stops. We got a potential possibility of getting murdered, man. It breaks my heart for the city of Minnesota because it's literally around the same time. The George Floyd. It's literally around the same time. And the man
during the case, on top of that, like
during the case, you just adding more, fire to the flames, man. And I don't know, man. And like you said, man, it's becoming like we're becoming numb to it. It's a norm for us. This is a norm. It's becoming a norm, and it's sad.
And it shouldn't be. This is not a norm. This should not be a norm. This should not be a norm, bro. No, we shouldn't be just like I said, man, as a kid, you see police officers, man, you want to go get the little sticker. You want to go talk to them. You feel me? You know, that's what it was as a kid, because police officers show up on like a career day, or, you know, they had a little police officer days where you get to see how things operate and the officers are nice. And you're like, man, okay, the police really here to protect and serve us. Yeah. Then now you done got older, it's like, these dudes don't give a damn about us.
Yeah. And I'm not going to say everybody. I'm not going to say everybody. I'm not going to.
Yeah, and again, it's not all officers. It's just, I feel like, to me, and I said this, I feel like it's the officers who were the guys in school who, I wouldn't say they got bullied, but they felt like they deserved way more respect than what was given. They didn't get enough power. They wasn't a jock at the school. They didn't have a popularity. And then they become police officers to finally get a position of power and now want to abuse the power. And that's just kind of how I see it. Because I've had encounterments with police officers. And I've only had one that went left. One. It didn't even go like super bad left. It just kind of went left. It was a little unnecessary. But for the most part, talking to these officers very calmly, they talking back very calmly. Situation don't get hostile. I going about my way, they going about theirs, and we good. So there are very sensible officers, no matter what the situation is. And then you got your officers who don't give a damn. And that's just kind of how I see it. And I
feel like
the officers who protect and back them, I got to look at you the same way. Like, I get it, it's the shield, and you got to protect your blue guys. But right is right and wrong is wrong. And my issue is more or less all these officers in this union are always willing to stand for what's wrong when you need to really stand up for what's right. Yeah. Because you could be, if it says 75 officers and whatever it is, and about 65 of them feel some kind of way, they can't fire you all. It's 65 of y'all.
Yes.
Y'all stand up and really speak against it. It puts everybody in an uncomfortable situation, and then we will start seeing change. Everybody want to continue to, like you said, hide behind the shield and not really want to speak up because you feel like you're speaking up against something wrong, but you took an oath.
Yeah.
You took an oath to protect and serve. And if you think killing somebody unarmed because you panic is living up to that oath, then what the hell y'all taking oaths for?
Yeah. I don't know, but thank you, man. It's sad to say Minnesota Timberwolves end up postponing a game, which is rightfully so. And it just sucks for that town. It sucks for that place to happen again in Minnesota, man. So my prayers out to his family. And again, I don't wish nothing bad on nobody, but I do wish justice happened. I do hope for justice, and I do hope for it. I do. Just something is better than nothing, man. I'm just tired of these folks getting away with this, man, and it's constantly happening, and it's getting old. But I guess we'll follow up as we know more information, man. But we know that Minnesota is back on watch, back on alert, high alerts. There's been a lot of stuff going down, and they're on curfew out there. So prayers to everybody out there in Minnesota. Take care of yourself. Be safe. My young Kings, man, you gotta be safe out here, man. You gotta be safe out here. On to the next topic, man. We had some drama over the weekend with Kyrie and Schroeder. And it turned out that I guess Schroeder called Kyrie the N-word.
Yeah.
Kyrie wasn't rocking with that. He said, "You don't know me like that." And it just triggered him. He snapped and he went off on him, or whatever the case may be. And so how do you feel about the whole incident, and how you feel about that game? Was that a big game for the Lakers, a big win for the Lakers, or, was it just kind of got swept over the rug because two of the players that was having one of the best games of their life not say of their life, but they was on pace for having a solid game that day, and them getting ejected early in the third quarter.
It's an interesting dynamic. I mean, you understand where Kyrie is coming from. If you don't want to be associated with the word and you don't want to be called the word, I can respect that because that's your personal preference.
Facts.
I just feel like you just got to handle that situation better.
Yeah.
You feel me? Because y'all professionals. So in I wouldn't say in Shooter's defense, this is probably like everyday language between him and the other 1,300 basketball players, and nothing is ever really said. So when it gets said to you, you just let it be known, don't do this again, or it's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
And that's just the best way you do it. Like, I don't rock with that. Or as a grown man, you let it be known right then and there. And then after the game, you pull him to the side and y'all talk like grown men. And you let him know how that offends you and why you're not rocking with it. And maybe he responds to it, maybe he don't. But at least you know that y'all had that conversation. And again, it's the heat of the battle. And I look at it like, if y'all never had no real beef before,
right,
then, like, come on, man, we got to be grown. Like, we got to be able to handle situations like adults. Because as Shooter, he's not going to sit there and just continue to let you just keep talking to him any old kind of way like you somebody daddy.
Yeah.
So that's why he got to get a little bite back. Like, hold on, bro. Like, okay, I said it. I can apologize, but you need to watch your tone. Right. Because you can't say you don't like that word, then you get to be all quote unquote disrespectful without using the word.
Yeah.
Like, that don't make sense. That's contradicting to why you don't like the word and why you don't like being called of it, because you start showing the actions of the word. If we're going to use real context in the situation.
Yes. No, I definitely hear you. I just think Kyrie was on one that day. I really think I'm just gonna call a spade, man. I'm just gonna call a spade. I know that ain't the first time somebody used the N-word. I get it. If you don't want to feel disrespected, I definitely understand that. You could have nipped that in the butt, but he went on a tangent. Like, he was moving the referee hands, shoving the referee, sliding them to the left, sliding them to the right. And I was like, yo, this is a little bit extra, bro. It was almost like he was looking for a way to not play the rest of that game. And he sat out the next game due to some, no, I'm being honest. He sat out the next game due to some family or issues or some personal issues per se. And so I think that mentally he just wasn't there. I mean, he was playing. He's a talent. So he's going to get buckets. He's going to score. But it was almost like, okay, you got the double tech. Chill. All right, chill. But he took it to a whole nother level, and his whole teammates was like, bro, what are you doing? Like, what's up? Like, what's up, bro? Like, it ain't that deep, bro. He said the N-word. All right, cool. You let him know, don't call you that. Boom, we got double text. Let's play. But no, he went on a tangent. He started cussing. You ain't going to do. I'll F you up, woo, 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 moving. And then the ref threw him out. Then after he threw him out, he went to the other ref like do, and woo, 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 and then threw his jersey out doing. I was like, yo, was it really that big of a deal? Was it that? Like, bro, like, for real? For real, Kyrie?
He had to show he was about all that, babe. He had to show him. Like,
bro, look, man.
I'm from Jersey.
Look. It's a mental game. And I know Kyrie mental, when he wants to have a strong mental, he be all right. I know people talk crazy to Kyrie, probably say some more crazy stuff to him on the court than that. I'm telling you, I think Kyrie mentally wasn't there, and he was ready. He was triggered already, and he was looking for somebody to say something, to snap. And that's what happened. That's just what happened. He said, and the intruder's defense, Kyrie ran up all in the dude's face. It was like, damn, N-word. You know what I'm saying? Damn, bro, chill. What is all that y'all in my face? And he was like, don't call me that. Woo, 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 woo. Like, so in his defense, Shooter was like, yo, chill, back off, bro. Like, well, what's your problem? Like, what?
What you on, bro?
What are you on right now? And I really think Kyrie mentally wasn't there. I think basketball-y, talent-y wise, he was there. He can score. But I think mentally, he was triggered. He was triggered. And that brings me to my biggest point with the Nets. Emotionally, strength. I would say a mental strength is going to be their biggest issue because they are very. I don't want to call them emotional because I don't like that word.
I feel like they are. I wouldn't say emotional.
Yeah,
but they are emotionally fragile. Like their emotions, they're not emotional people, but they can be tinkered with. Like they can be triggered.
Very small. Put it.
Yeah, they can be triggered.
Very small. They're very triggered off the littlest things. Like you're in the business where you're going to be scrutinized, you're going to be judged, you're going to be viewed. People are going to have so many opinions on you. They're going to say things that you're not agree with, but this is what you signed up for. This is the life of a celebrity. Your life, your privacy is no longer the same as a regular person, but it comes with other perks. It comes with financial freedom. It comes with the ability to support your family, to travel. So it's a gift and a curse. So mentally, you have to be strong. And I think their fuses are so short. Like you don't know what you're going to get with the Nets sometimes. You don't know who's going to snap, who's going to be there mentally. And that's the thing, that team has the potential to win the NBA finals. I will never deny that because they have the talent. But mentally, I don't know if they'll be able to get there because if they're not there mentally, you can't play the way you want to play. I don't care who you are. We've seen it when Kyrie and LeBron wasn't seeing eye to eye. You've seen the chemistry was off. Man, the camaraderie of the team was off. So I think it's bigger than what it is.
Yeah, because like James Harden is the most mature dude on the team out of the three.
Yeah.
You feel me? And I've never necessarily questioned James' mental up until the beginning of this year with the whole Rocket incident, but we obviously see that was more of a ploy to get out of town.
Yeah.
So, but he's really gonna have to really dive into his leadership because if you ever really watch the Rockets play outside, especially either I want to say kind of outside of Chris Paul, because Chris Paul is more of a vocal leader type thing. James Harden's a pretty good leader of his team.
Yeah.
Like the way he galvanizes his team, the way he'll check a dude in certain situations. I've watched plenty of games where he's checked people like that's unnecessary. Like, why are you doing that? I've seen him check Russ Westbrook last year, like, bro, it's unnecessary. And so he's really gonna have to dive into his leadership bag on top of his own court bag. And it's like you supposed to be just coming to a situation to help. You came into the situation and became the leader, the point guard, the guy that settles everything down. So, that's just a lot on one person. And, just like I said, when you speak to just that basketball game, the game then got overshadowed. To me, it started off before even the game when KD made the comments about he's not chasing the gold thing that the man created. He's chasing to become his legacy. Well, if that's true, why you go join the Warriors? If you all about just your legacy and being the greatest basketball player, then why'd you go join the Warriors?
I think in the beginning he was chasing the trophy. I think he did, but
I feel like I think you should say that. Like
he gotta just specify, but of course he said it earlier when he joined. He said, I want to win. I want to win the championship. He won a championship. Now, after you win a championship, it's now about your legacy at the end of the day. Yeah. Once you become that superstar, that solidified superstar that everybody know you are, and then you win one, now it's about your legacy. How many more can you win? What else can you do? That type of stuff. Because, the number thing comes into play. But I want to see more from KD on his leadership role. He brought Kyrie. He got James Harden there. He got the keys to the ship. So I want to see more out of him. I want to be able to him to hold his teammates accountable. I want him, and I hope he did it. I hope he went to Kyrie after the game. It was like, bro, like we don't need that. Like we don't need that. Like I don't know.
It's Kyrie to play the next game, so there's no way he did it.
No, but I'm saying I'm just saying I hope he did it, and then maybe they gave him a day off to get his mind right. But I hope KD talked to Kyrie and was like, look, man, we don't need that. We plan for something bigger. We got to be able to control our emotions in the heat of the moment. You know what I'm saying? I can understand if he really disrespected you out of this world, He said the N word, and that could be disrespectful, but that's not to the point where you got to go on a tangent and go crazy and get on your jersey, throw everything, and like, you know what I'm saying? You ruin the whole vibe of the team. You run the whole the morale of the team down. We was only down by 4. We end up losing by 15 points, more than 15. So I want to see more from KD as a leader. I know he's a specimen on that basketball floor. He's a 7 foot. He's an assassin, and we know that. We know that. I will never deny his talent, but it's more than just being able to play basketball. It's putting it all together. It's putting it all together. The mental, the leadership, the game, the off the field. Like when LeBron leaves, who's going to be the face of this league? Who's really going to be the face of this league? Zion? Luka Doncic? Who knows?
I like Zion, the way he leads.
But we will see what happens with the Nets, man. They definitely got to get it together. But on to the next news before we get up out of here. Some big injuries happen this year. It's been, I feel like this has been the year of the injury bug. Like it has. Like for people who played in the playoffs, played longevity in the bubble season, and then took 2 months off to get back and rile it back up again and play some more basketball and not really have a full recovery. Because, you know, in the season ends in June, you take about a couple, 3-4 months, then you start to rile it back up.
September,
and
October.
Like late August, early September, you start to get back into shape, whatever the case may be. Maybe even in July, like middle of July, you're getting into shape, you're getting your body right. And then you're getting in conditioning with the August, the September, and then late October, the season starts. But you only had 2 months. And we have some massive injuries this year, man. We have my man Murray. My man Jamal Murray went out, and he's out for the year with a torn ACL. And it was a non-contact. He was trying to plant a little bit out of control. It's one of those things where your body not over your knee and all that pressure, you don't have no support, and it buckled. And not only did he go out, my man, the Warriors' first round pick, James Wiseman, ended up going out with a torn meniscus, and he's going to be out for the remaining of the season. How do you feel about these injuries? How does it impact these two teams? What do you see them, going in this remaining of the season?
For the Nuggets, it's tough.
Hey, man, come on, man. What you doing?
I don't know. It's just a whiff of sleepy hit me. Anyway, for the Nuggets, it's tough because they're not a bad team that is going to just fall off the face of the earth because they got the Joker. But I feel like losing Murray just canceled any championship run just because of how dynamic Jamal Murray can be. He just asked that he's the 1-2 punch. So now you're going to have to look from scoring from other places like Michael Porter, Aaron Gordon. I feel like Monte Morris is a solid point guard, but Jamal Murray can give you 35 on a given night because he showed last year in the bubble he can be that dynamic. Mm-hmm. So I feel like it makes it tough for them to go win a title. They can still be a good playoff team. They can still put up a good fight, but without Murray, I feel like their title chances have dwindled to slim to none. The whole Wiseman thing, due to his season being so up and down, I feel like it can affect the Warriors, but I don't think it hurts them as much as it don't hurt them as much. Because right now they're currently in a 10 seed, or 9th and 10th seed, so they're in the play-in situation. So I think they can kind of maintain status quo because Wiseman was having such an up and down season. He had just missed, a few games due to COVID, contact tracing, and all that good stuff, or bad stuff, however you want to do it. So it hurts. It just hurts his development. But I don't think it really changes too much of the Warriors because it's either they're going to win or they not. Because last night, Curry went for 53.
Yeah, he's going to have to do that. Curry's going to have to play out of time.
It's crazy.
Curry's going to have to play out of his mind moving forward. Now, with the loss of Wiseman, I'm not saying Wiseman was a super duper big piece for them, but he was getting better. And even though he was having up and down moments, he was starting to catch his stride here and there. And he does help them out on the inside of interior defense. But losing him, Curry's going to now have to even go for 60 every night. Curry's going to have to put on an MVP performance every single night to give his team a chance to even make the playoffs. And I respect Curry because he's doing it. He's doing his thing, man. He's doing what he can. But I think it's really going to impact the Denver Nuggets. I think this hurts their chances so much. The Murray and Jokic connection, adding Aaron Gordon and Michael Porter Jr. My bad. My bad.
Got to get that man.
My bad. But the Michael Porter Jr., I think they was finding their own. They had a solid squad. They had depth. They had size. They had the talent. And losing one of their prolific scorers on that team is going to impact them so much. I think Jokic is going to have to really step up a lot. And the Porter and Aaron Gordon has to play that 1-2 thing now. They're going to have to combine for at least 20 a night and to help the Joker. I really feel like they're going to have to average 20 points a night now that they're missing a walking 28 to close to 30 points any given day. I think they're going to have to pick up the slack so it don't hurt them as much, but I don't think they're going to be able to win as many games in the playoffs. I think they may, depending on who they end up with, I think for sure they can't beat the Lakers now without Murray. I think they probably still wasn't going to beat the Lakers, but they was going to give them a fight. But now, for sure, the Clippers got a good chance to make in the Western Conference Finals now because that was their kryptonite. Denver Nuggets was the Clippers' kryptonite, and they match up very, very well with the Clippers. And having Aaron Gordon and Michael Porter Jr., they can stick Kawhi Leonard. They can put some size on Paul George. And then you got the point guards. Don't nobody really can stick the Joker, and nobody was sticking Jamal Murray like that. So they had the difference maker. But now Clippers got a good chance. Lakers got a good chance to meet in the freaking finals now. But prayers and love to those brothers who suffered injuries, man. I just want people to get back healthy. I think this is a sign to let people get their time off. The body's not meant to be, jumping on a regular because this is high impact. This is up and down nonstop. And just because you take 2 months off, that's not enough time for me, man. In my opinion, I really think you need full recovery because it's mental drain, it's physical drain, and to constantly go up and down. And you can tell, man, on a freak accident like that, it just crazy. It's just crazy. But I'm hoping that they come back with a full recovery. Hoping they get well soon, man.
Yeah, I mean it's a tough situation. Every team been going. All the top teams have been going through it in some shape or fashion. I feel like the Jazz have kind of avoided it, but you got to think about it. Mike Conley was out with the hamstring.
Right.
I think the Suns have kind of avoided it for the most part in the West. When you look at the West, it's really only the Suns that's been relatively healthy because the Trailblazers didn't have McCollum for a stretch.
Right.
The Clippers is dealing with Paul George toe and that, and now they without Ibaka. Obviously, the Lakers are without LBJ and AD. Now Denver with this injury. Dallas had the whole Porzingis kind of in and out. So when you're looking at the West,
even Milwaukee, you got Giannis.
Yeah, Milwaukee had the Giannis situation right now. The Sixers had Embiid.
It's a lot. A lot of these people played in the bubble.
Yeah, and then Brooklyn with KD, Kyrie, and James in some shape or fashion. The Pacers not having Oladipo and then trading for LeVert and then him still working his way back in. What else? Just when you look at the NBA, every playoff team for the most part has been dealing with injuries. And, it's just coming to a battle of attrition, and it's coming to when you get hurt, because the Lakers are looking to hopefully be healthy heading into the playoffs. The Nets is hoping to be healthy heading into the playoffs. The Sixers is getting back into form. So it's about the timing and the win. It's unfortunate that this just happened to Denver right now. So, we're going to see how everything plays out. And you know, we about a month away, man, from playoff basketball.
I know. That's crazy. That is crazy. That
about a month away from playoff basketball.
So we will see how everything unfolds. But other than that, man, that is going to do it for us. Anything you want to say before we get up out of here, dog?
Yeah, man, this past weekend, because I know we was talking about what happened in Minneapolis out there in Minnesota. Well, out here in Fresno, our mayor released, fired, however you want to do it, one of the officers because there was an internal investigation going on with Officer Fitzgerald, and that he was participating in the Proud Boys extremist group. So our mayor, Jerry Dyer, and police department relieved Mr. Fitzgerald of his duties. And, you know, I just feel like that's a positive step in the right direction of finding a lot of these bad apples and getting rid of these bad apples. And, you know, if we're doing it out here in Fresno, there are more bad apples around the country in different pockets of states and whatever the case is. So when I look at this as Mayor, you know, Jerry Dyer, because he's a former officer, this is huge, because being a former officer, and we talk about protecting the shield, you know, usually these kind of things get kind of brushed underneath the rug or nothing significant happens. And I feel like it's something small because it's just the city of Fresno, but it's a major move overall. And it just shows the respect that I have for Mayor Dyer and what he's trying to do for the community out here in Fresno.
That's dope, man. That is dope. Like I said, man, we just want justice. Let's I'm praying for justice out there for Minnesota. And again, sending condolences and prayers and love to the family of Dante Wright, man. Rest in peace, brother. Gone too soon. I don't know you, but it just sucks to see you have to go like that, man. Anyway, man, y'all stay safe. Y'all take care of yourself. Love one another. Support one another, and always remember to talk that talk. We see y'all on Thursday. Mock Draft Thursday. Peace.